Welcome to the Ohio Motor Speedway here in Columbus, Ohio. This is one of the staples on the schedule. This the shortest track on the season at under a half mile at 4.68 miles. This track is virtually 75% turning and virtually very short straightaways here. Very wide track this one is. You can easily go 3 wide around here. Not that you'd want to, because it's very one groove, but it's possible. Can turn into a little bit of a bumping and shoving fest, but it also turns into a traffic fest, so gotta be very careful there. A couple of major news items is that Josh Travell will maintain his 96 car. Apparently, Subaru was happy with the way Indianapolis went for him, and will possibly get a ride with that team. They're going to give him a chance. There are rumors about Ryan Griffin possibly getting a chance next week or next weekend at, I believe, Darlington or New York we're going to. I've got to look at the schedule myself. It's been a long time off. A couple of weeks since the Indianapolis 250. It's going to be a very interesting race here. We go from the very high-speed Indianapolis Motor Speedway to the low-speed and very track that requires a lot of patience. This one is the Ohio Motor Speedway, because it's a lot of patience, but it's also a lot of panic, because going a lap down here is absolutely murder, and it's very easy to do so. This track is very easy to go a lap down on. Probably the easiest on the whole schedule. Part-time championship is looking rather one-sided with Kenny Myatt absolutely romping with it. However, he's on his final start this weekend, our final guaranteed start. Of course, all the part-time cars will get a chance to start the round of Washington, D.C., which is definitely a possibility that somebody else could, especially when you've got guys like Nick Mace and Aaron Perkins, who have only started 1 out of their 4 guaranteed races. Or 5 guaranteed races, and and did very well in the American 700 and Indianapolis 250 as well. Tristan Wilhoit still has a chance as well. He has 1 more race, I believe, at New York, in New York City. He will be making a run there, as long with Washington, D.C. as well. Kind of going a little bit long here, so let's get down to the Ohio Motor Speedway. James Shelley is our pole sitter here at the Ohio Motor Speedway, and we are about to go green flag here at one of the hallmark tracks of the season. Alan Cavagnaro has done very well here this weekend as well. Kind of surprising to see a Ferrari doing so well on a low-speed circuit, but Cavi's looking for the lead now as, well, Shelley tried to throw a block there, but not going to work, as Alan Cavagnaro leads the first lap. Jessica Shelton's also on a move. This kind of track suits the Durban Sport. One of Durban Sport's premier tracks, this one is. As Jessica Shelton's up to second position, Ike Durbin, a driver who openly does not like this track, is running in P, is fighting for third. Kenny Myatt, who doesn't really do well here, is also doing pretty well. So Noah Hart's falling back like a rock, however. And this is the kind of race where you just got to recycle and understand the way that this kind of pack race, or the way that this kind of short track racing works. A lot of aggressive driving can put you into a hole early on here, and that's not good. Other than Kenny Myatt, the Discover Ohio's suck. Have sucked all weekend. Haven't even cracked the top 20 in practice, and they're struggling in the race. Hopefully, for their sake and the sake of the sanity of most Ohioans, they get up the order, because Pure Michigan, well, they haven't been doing much better either. Aaron Perkins has been strong. She's always strong at the Ohio Motor Speedway. And, well, Pure Michigan's actually been slower than Discover Ohio this weekend. Alan Cavagnaro, by coming on to lap 9, has already opened up a pretty large lead over Jessica Shelton in second. Shelton is won British Columbia last year, as we're going on board with her roof cam. As the Ohio Motor Speedway is not a track I would expect Jessica Shelton to be very strong on. As you can already see, Cavagnaro's approaching one of the blue flares, and it's only lap 10 out of 260. 130 miles around this track. And, well, that's pretty early to be lapping cars. Shows how slow the blue flares have been lately. Ike Durbin has worked his way past James Shelley, and now Myatt's looking to do the same, as Shelley's kind of, he got moved up high and got up into the marble, so he's got to clear off his tires quick. He, I believe, did so, and, now has regained composure, yet losing a position. Cavagnaro's already lapped Rick Schultz, which is kind of surprising, but we'll see how Shelton deals with Schultz as well. Pretty nicely. Schultz, for the most part, stays out of the way. This track is very wide, and 3 wide is very capable around here. Now Alan Cavagnaro, the race leaders, coming up to lap Nicholas Vernier and Jason Tyson, both of which have been pretty slow all weekend. Tyson hasn't come to grips with this track very much. And it looks like Vernier tried shutting the door there on Cavi. And, well, that didn't exactly work out to plan, as Cavagnaro dispatched both of them quite easily. Ike Durbin now is catching Jessica Shelton, as there's kind of some pack racing back here a little bit, as they're trying to lap Nicholas Vernier. Shelton has been struggling a bit for grip, it looks like, as Durbin is looking a little bit more composed down on that low line. Shelton tends to run maybe a third of a lane higher than most. And I think she's losing time because of it, because her car can't really handle. You can see her car's stepping out, entering the corners and stuff, and it looks like Ike Durbin is looking rather composed in the corners, which is composure around this track. Having a car that is relatively composed really helps out quite a lot here. Meanwhile, Alan Cavagnaro is lapping Eddie Padcar. Padcar's ride is in doubt because of rising stars, and Henry Sanford's been talked about maybe getting a full-time ride for the rest of the season with McLaren. Ian Dutta's been linked to McLaren possibility. Ian Dutta's been linked to a lot of teams ever since his comeback in the American 700. So, Padcar's on the hot seat. And now Alan Cavagnaro is going to lap Rahal and Pericles, and actually the two... Cooper Siron hasn't had a very good race either. His car all weekend has been fighting him, which is rather difficult because Siron was dominant here early on early in the race last season. Rick Schultz is going a second lap down by lap 30 out of 260. Shows how fast he is. Schultz has been out of his depth ever since he came into the series. And Cavagnaro laps him with relative ease. And speaking of the devil, Eddie Padcar blows up the McLaren. So there goes his race. He will be the first retirement, I believe, out of this race on lap 32. Very high RPM track this is, so the engines do have a lot of stress on them. And right on cue, Alex Allen blows up the Mercedes. Not a lap later. So Alex Allen was at least having a pretty decent weekend. He was top 5 in final practice, so a lot of people were thinking Alex Allen could be on a career turnaround here. Allen has been struggling lately and, well, quite frankly, needs it. Cavagnaro laps Siren, but is having a problem with Pericles. It's actually kind of amazing that Pericles is beating a DNC in a blue flare. And Pericles has been rather feisty this weekend. This is a track that Pericles does like. We've seen it before. Pericles is pretty good around this track. I just don't think his car is all that great. Pericles, of course, won a Sony Cup Series race here, and proving that he is pretty strong at the Ohio Motor Speedway. This is the time of season where Andrew Cross has to turn his season around. Andrew Cross has been, at the start of the season, was the runaway favorite for the championship. Now Cross is having issues. Cross needs to get out there and start gaining some points back that he's lost during the American 700 and Indianapolis 250. He did pretty poorly in both of those. He blew up before they even took the green in the Indianapolis 250. So Cross needs to gain some points back, but this is a weekend he can do this in. I have a feeling this is the kind of track Cross likes. Ike Durbin has taken over second position from Jessica Sheldon, and now they are actually catching Alan Cavagnaro, who is being held up in some heavier lap traffic of
Ryusu and, that's Delise. Washer, Stark's back there as well. Stark's having a pretty good run. And Jacob Hart is another car that they're going to have to worry about. There's Ryusu. Now if Ike Durbin, I believe is faster technically, 14.6 compared to a 14.6. So Ike Durbin, I believe, is a little bit faster right now than Cavagnaro. Cavagnaro still has the fastest lap of the race, however, now Cavi's going to get a little bit of clean air while Durbin doesn't have that. You got to have clean track here. This is a track that's very reliant on that. You got to have some clear track in front of you, and right now Ike Durbin doesn't. And like I said, you got to be able to work your way through packs and stuff. And that's pretty much the strategy of this track. We're already 50 laps in, nearly 100 miles, or nearly 100, no, not 100 miles, but nearly 50 miles into this race. And not 50 either. I don't know what I'm talking about. However, now Cavagnaro's been forced to the outside line. This is not good for Cavi. He's got to be able to slot back onto the inside, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that anytime soon unless he tries something out of desperation. This is Ike Durbin's chance to move. Ike Durbin's got to get up through the order, and it looks like that is going to be the case as of now. So, with Cavi on the high line, we could see our first lead change since like lap 1. Cavagnaro's led the first 50 laps of the race. Siren's trying to get his lap back. Looks like that will be a thing. And now Ike Durbin is going to have a serious challenge now on Cavagnaro. Cavi's got a line if he wants to slam the door, but he's not going to, and Ike Durbin is going to take the lead. Durbin admittedly doesn't like this track very much, and obviously he hates it, but has been statistically quite good here as, oh boy, there was almost 3 wide there. 3 wide is possible on this track, it's just a bit sketchy. Cavagnaro's actually going to lose, has lost second position, going to lose 3rd and possibly 4th to Kenny Myatt, 5th to Noah Hart. Now we're just seeing that, oh, we got a wreck in front. And Shelley got a piece, but Fabrosis has some heavy damage, it looks like. So caution 1 on lap 53 would fly. Ike Durbin will be your leader coming back around. This one started when the blue flare of Roman Rahal and the Lexus blew up, and pretty much Charlie Fabrosis would slip in the oil trying to get by, or actually would try and get by Travell, didn't see him. And Galligan would get a big piece as well, and it looks like Shock spun on pit road. So we're on board here, and he's, well, Fabrosis, I thought he couldn't see him, but he clearly could. He got away with it. Man, Shock took a very weird spin there. I'm kind of interested to see what happened to him, but we're going to go on board with Galligan next. So we're on board with Sean Galligan here. He goes to the high line like he should, and, well, Fabrosis, one of the hometown people, ran right into the back of Rahal and couldn't do anything about it. So here's what happened to Kyle Shock. Kyle Shock would actually get run over there by the Menor-Feeney. That was of Jason Tyson. And that's pretty much what happened with Shock. Shock overcorrected it and just taps the wall there. Shouldn't be too much, but he did make a pit stop for tires there, so he will probably lose a couple laps. He will probably lose at least a lap. Rather scary incident here on pit road with Nicolas Vernier. Vernier's trying to get into the pits. Pit box is in front. Silver Fox is trying to get out, and Silver Fox would actually barrel roll on pit road. Well, that one's on Silver Fox's pit caller. He really should have been able to see that Vernier was trying to pit. His crew members, because it was within the 2-box rules, were actually able to push Silver Fox's car over. However, they had to push him back in, and he had to serve a very lengthy penalty. Ike Durbin would lead on the restart now with Jessica Shelton in 2nd position. Alan Cavagnaro would work his way up to 3rd. Myatt's in 4th. So this race goes on. It is going to be a pretty interesting battle now, as that outside line now is where all the leaders are, and we're looking to see the first car who can get to the inside line out of the lead group, and that's going to be, I believe, Richard Johnson. So Richard Johnson could make a big killing here if he can get up the order. Actually, no, Ike Durbin has gotten to the inside line, so now he's going to go on a lapping spree. Jessica Shelton now has gotten to the inside line from second position, and we're looking a little further back. Third of Cavagnaro has Richard Johnson, actually worked his way up to fourth. Myatt lost down to fifth, and sixth is Andrew Cross. With James Shelley not doing the well, Shelley's behind in eighth. So we're starting to see what some of these drivers are going to be doing here as this race continues onward. But Ike Durbin continues to lead it. Rather massive lead for Ike Durbin. Here's Alan Cavagnaro again in third position. His teammate Tuomas Saarinen fell out due to driver illness. Saarinen hasn't been feeling well this weekend, and yeah, Ferrari didn't have a replacement driver lined up. Thanos was supposed to, but apparently Saarinen thought he could race, and, well, he couldn't, and, well, Saarinen fell out of the race after being ill in the car, so Cavagnaro's the sole remaining Ferrari left in this car. Cody Lamas is not going to get lapped without a fight. He's been fighting hard to keep Ike Durbin behind him, even though I don't think it's going to come to any avail, as Durbin is pretty content on lapping him. Kenny Myatt running P5. We've been talking a lot about the part-time championship after the two double points races, because Myatt's got a massive point lead in that. But this is his final race. Erin Perkins is in her second race. Perkins is in fourth position, not too far behind Myatt. Or no, actually she was in fourth, now she's 18th. Oops, I thought she was in fourth. However, Erin Perkins probably should get a better run here if she's going to have a chance at it. You got Nick Mace coming up in the next couple of weeks. He'll be at Darlington, I believe. He'll be at around Kentucky, maybe, doing some things, and that'll be an interesting race there in Kentucky. Charles Sanford will get a little bit overzealous there on the brake, or on the not using the brakes and spin off into the wall. No caution for that, however, as Sanford was able to keep going. Ike Durbin has now caught the massive schmozzle of lapped traffic that are very much off the pace. And they're having, and he's, needless to say, having rather interesting issues with it, to say the least. Some of these guys have had some altercations in practice earlier. Blue Flare and Menervini have, unsure of what the outcomes of those. Ike Durbin, however, is extending his rather large lead over Jessica Shelton. 4 seconds around this track is a lifetime, considering the track is only 14 seconds long. Yeah, it's proving that Ike Durbin is absolutely mauling everybody today. We're on board with Kenny Myatt now. He's got the helmet cam this weekend. You get to see just really how much of this lap is turning. He's kind of by himself. There's one of the Pure Michigans on his outside. Andrew Cross is behind him. And it's just all non-stop turning, pretty much. I mean, you really never even stop, considering how short the straights are. So turning's important. Being able to turn your car is important. Ike Durbin has now caught the back of Kyle Schock Jr. in the Pure Michigan. Pure Michigan wanted to make a statement today, and hasn't really worked, as they're coming to lap Rick Schultz again. Ike Durbin's one lap from halfway in this race. At the mark here, 60-mile mark. Right there, 60 miles are gone. Not too long, or about halfway done with this race. Ike Durbin has thoroughly dominated it, at least from this stage on. Shelton is trying to close in, however, trying to get it some kind of run going. A little further back, we've got Alan Cavagnaro. Myatt's back up to fourth as Shelley's been dispatched to sixth. Noah Hart is all over the back of Myatt, though. The big loser in all this is Andrew Cross. Cross went from 5th down to 13th in on this run. Cross's car is not handling as well as he would like it to. And, well, that's a problem for him. Casey Lester having a good run as well. As is Richard Johnson is a lap down. Sorry about that. Vincent Alley, American 700 winner, and Josh Travell doing a pretty nice job. Matt Duncan won this race last season, and he could be on course again. Ike Durbin now, because he's being held up by the two Pure Michigans, is actually being caught, reeled in slowly by Jessica Shelton. Shelton, though, has to get by Jacob Hart, Cody Lamas, Tyler Thaber, Cooper Siren, and Charles Sanford if she wants any chance at it right now. That's going to be hard, with especially how good Ike Durbin's car has been through this race. He is losing time, but it's not through his own doing. I think it's mainly because he's pacing the car, A, and B is being held up by the two Pure Michigan. Noah Hart has worked his way up to 4th, and James Shelley up to 5th, since Myatt was forced to the high line and lost a couple spots. That's good for the part-time championship hopes, I'll say that. Jessica Shelton, however, is entering heavy lap resistance in 2nd position, as is Ike Durbin in heavy lap resistance. Durbin has been having issues with these two Pure Michigans, and he nearly wrecked Schock. He did get very aggressive there with Kyle Schock Jr. to put him a lap down. But that's kind of what you have to do here, is you've got to be aggressive here if you don't want to get anywhere around this track. I mean, passing here is incredibly difficult and requires a lot of bravery. On lap 172, Ike Durbin has really caught some heavy laps traffic now. And this is where things are going to get really interesting for Ike, as now we got some green flag pit stops taking place now. Here they come. Flying down pit road, and this is where you're going to start seeing trouble. Myatt and Hart already had pitted. You're going to see trouble because it's very difficult, this track, to get in and out of pit road on. And, well, Myatt made contact with Travell there. DJ Curtis and Myatt are now coming out of the pits. Normally we see a little bit more body contact there, coming in and out of the pits as well. But we're not seeing as much as we're used to here. Maybe there! Whoa, Matt Duncan had to take evasive maneuvers to get out of that one. I have a feeling we're not going to see people so lucky. Oh, Shelton shoves Ryusu way up to the wall, practically, to prevent things there. Here comes McCain out of the pits. Going to be with Noah Hart. Hart sees him. Stays well out of his way. If we make a green flag pit cycle here, I'm shocked because I've never seen a green flag pit cycle work here. However, it looks like we're starting to see that, possibly. I think we just saw a green flag pit cycle. The big winner on the pit stop cycle was actually Noah Hart. Big loser, Jessica Shelton. Shelton lost a ton of time there. She's still in 3rd, but she lost a ton of time. Noah Hart gained a ton of time. Actually is 1 car away from Ike Durbin, who is still leading this race. And actually, well, Durbin's been faster, but 14.702 compared to a 15.02. Noah Hart's considerably quicker than Ike Durbin, too. And this is the kind of track where speed does kind of matter here. The fastest car right now, believe it or not, is, whoa, did I see 14.5? I don't think I'll see anything like that. Actually, I believe it's Kenny Myatt right now with DJ Curtis. They're the 2 fastest cars, I believe, right now. Actually, no, I take that back. Casey Lester's really quick. Going through the order here. Problems for Nick Pericles. What happened to him? Pericles would break down here and pretty much drive it into the wall there. Did they bring out the pace car for that? I know in Indianapolis they brought one out. Yeah, they did. Caution is out. So Ike Durbin will continue to lead this race here on this restart. Ike Durbin's going to need a good restart here with Aaron Perkins on the inside, because if Ike Durbin doesn't get one, he could be in a world of hurt. Ike Durbin gets a great restart. Perkins bogs down there. However, Durbin can't really shut the door. And Perkins is back with him. And Noah Hart's going to get to the inside, I believe. Yes, he is. Even though Ike Durbin tries a really late braking maneuver there on the outside, Noah Hart's going to grab the lead here at Ohio Motor Speedway. Jessica Shelton's going to grab second away from Durbin. Now, this is what we're talking about. Cars come and go quickly at this track. Incredibly quickly. Oh, Myatt's got a problem. We went to him because we thought he had a problem. He's coming back down pit road. Loose wheel on that car. Tough break for Kenny Myatt. And that's going to put the part-time championship very interesting, especially if Aaron Perkins can score points. Or if Nick Mace can next weekend. So Noah Hart leads over Jessica Shelton. Ike Durbin has slotted to the inside before Cavagnaro could get there. Cavagnaro, who was pretty strong early on, now is struggling for some grip there. However, I wouldn't count anybody out of this one. It's a clean track in front. And now we're going to see who has the best car. Jessica Shelton just set her fastest lap of the race, even though Noah Hart is quicker than her. Actually, Cavagnaro's the fastest of all of them right now with a 6.49. So we're going to see if Cavi can get a good run going here. Can Cavi do it? Well, not that time, but we're going to take a look. And actually, that time Shelton was quicker. Cavagnaro is looking a bit lower there on Ike Durbin. This is going to be the intensities building in this one. However, as the run would get going, Noah Hart would begin to pull away from Shelton, Durbin, and Cavi there. However, right as he does that, he gets caught in pretty heavy, slow-lapped traffic with the blue flares and Menervinis and stuff. And especially with Nick Pericles possibly shoving him down 3 lanes of traffic since he's gotten back out there again. And there's Shelton kind of getting held up there. Durbin and Cavi don't really like Schultz. And that's going to be a big benefit for those two. Shelton's been having issues getting through this lap traffic. Well, Noah Hart's been sifting through it like a hot knife through butter. However, now Noah Hart's stuck behind Kenny Myatt, who's not going to give up without a fight, I can tell you that. And Shelton, Cavagnaro, and Durbin have gotten through with the exception of Cavagnaro with the 78, have gotten through some of this intense lapped traffic. Well, Noah Hart hasn't. Noah Hart, it has gotten through that group, but now Noah Hart's being caught by Myatt, Faber, and Lamas, who are all very formidable opponents. Rick Schultz would go another lap down, as you can see, but now Shelton is all over the back of Noah Hart. The Georgia native versus South Carolina native are fighting pretty hard now. We're seeing this is where things get interesting. I believe Shelton is still quicker. No, Hart was quicker that time. Actually, Durbin was the quickest out of the 4 cars that are leading. Wow, this is getting really intense because I don't know who's going to win it with 40 to go. 40 laps here don't take very long, I'll just say that, as long as we don't get a caution. The leaders now are counting very heavy lap traffic as they finally put Myatt a lap down. However, now is where you're going to have to start dealing with some pressure. However, this track is so difficult to pass on that really Shelton and none of them can really get a run going because it's almost constant turning this track. And whoa, Faber got really racy there. Trying to hold his position is, oh boy, that was some contact there between Shelton and Faber. as Shelton pretty much used her bumper to pretty much just make Thaber get out of the way. Shelton did lose quite a bit of time there. Actually looks like Ike Durbin now is a man on a mission now as Thaber's fighting. Thaber is fighting. He does not want to go that lap down and try and get it back. 3 wide further back. Like I said, it's possible around here. It's just very, the outside line really has no advantage in doing this. Now there's a lap car between Hart and Shelton with Mamas in the middle there, so Hart did that, I think, with a plan. However, with only 10 to go, Noah Hart, 9 to go now, Noah Hart has opened up a rather large lead. However, Hart is catching some pretty heavy lap traffic again that he's going to have to get through. However, Shelton, Durbin, and Cavagnaro have to get by some more cars to get up to him, which isn't going to be easy, to say the least, especially with such little time left. I think Noah Hart's going to get this one at this rate. Noah Hart's got it, I think, with approaching 6 to go next time by. He doesn't have a long left. If Shelton can maybe get some crazy pass moves out of the way, it's a possibility, but Noah Hart would have to make a couple of mistakes too, and he is actually making some mistakes trying to get by Lamas. He had to really check up there. However, I just don't think there's a whole lot of time left for them to catch. Noah's got to get by his brother, who makes life predictably quite easy for him. It's been a long time since Noah Hart won an ARCSOA Lead Series race. Far too long, if you ask me. And it looks like Ohio Motor Speedway might be the place. He grew up at the Savannah Speedway, a track kind of similar to this, except not nearly as wide, a little bigger too, or a little bit longer, tighter corners. But he grew up on short tracks, Noah Hart did. He is kind of an oval master, Noah Hart is, knowing those ovals quite well. With only 2 to go, I think he's going to get this. Hart is on a championship tear after doing so well in the 2 one-off races he's done, finishing second in the Indianapolis 250 and doing well in the American 700. Noah Hart is becoming a serious championship contender, especially with a win here. Comes out of turn 2 for the final time now, into turn 3. You can almost see the checker now. He can see the checker now. Noah Hart's going to win the Round of Ohio here at the Ohio Motor Speedway. Jessica Shelton, who's pretty much run second the entire race, finished second. Third is Ike Durbin. Interestingly enough, I don't know what happened to Cavagnaro. Cavagnaro finished 10th. He got caught up onto the outside line and fell back quite a ways.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia on my mind. I said, Georgia, Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tender